What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into my workflow with Go High Level. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Once again, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott King. I run a DJ company in Orlando, Florida, www.djsorlando.com, and I also have a coaching business. Websites right here, where I teach, NLP, hypnosis, internet marketing, a whole bunch of different things. So if you're looking to grow your business, then, hit me up on the website. Actually, I'm going to show you in this video how I'm changing everything from an old set that I had into a new system, Go High Level. So I was learning Go High Level with my coach, Frank Kern. And when you get on to somebody else's sub account, you have all these different things that are already built out for you. So I started playing around with, the workflows and everything that he had going on. And I got a little confused because there's so much stuff here, but I didn't build it. So I didn't understand it. So I was like, okay, well, let me just start from scratch. So all the different knowledge that I had, I was like, well, how can I streamline my old system with the DJ company and then put it into Go High Level, and you'll understand more of the benefits of having everything within one system, because the system will understand the contacts. You can move them through pipelines, which is something I'm going to be learning here real soon. And basically, I'll show you my simple infrastructure, how I'm building it out. It's not live yet, very close to being live. There's a checklist of different things I have to go through. But if you're new and you don't understand Go High Level or the amazing things that it can do, I'm just going to show you how I've got it working and how it works out for me. And you're going to take away some different information from, what I'm about to present. So basically, if you get an agency account, they give you 3 different businesses or sub accounts that you can use. So right now I'm in the agency view. And if I click on over here, I started working on the coaching business, which is something I already have kind of set up with Frank Kern underneath his sub account. So it's a little bit confusing because it's now I get 2 things that are talking with it. And the DJ company, which is what I'm going to show you today, it doesn't have a lot of Go High Level, integrations already made. So I'm gonna log into my King Entertainment Events a level, and then I'm going to show you some of the back end stuff so that you can understand that I just don't show you the front view. You understand what's going on underneath the curtain or behind the curtain kind of thing. So where to start, right? The first thing is that you want to go to your marketing tab. The first thing that I found that was pretty cool, that it has a social planner. So there's an integrations tab, and you can go in and log in and then get all your accounts. And then over here, I created 2 sub accounts, right? One is for videos, because videos can do more social accounts than just images. So basically, if you click on new post, I can create a new post, and then I have 2 different groups, right? So I have one for Facebook and Instagram, because so basically if I was just posting an image, I would only do that on Facebook and Instagram. It wouldn't make much sense to put those on the other accounts like TikTok or YouTube. So with that in mind, I've already scheduled out a few posts. So you could go to your calendar view, and you'll see some holes here because I'm switching over from another service that I have that called Vista Social that already has social posts already for these days. But I started working on the next month, and these are all the social posts that I have going out starting July 3rd. And you can see on the 11th, I have that open. And if I wanted to put a post there, I just click on the plus button, and then I would click, whether I was going to do videos or images, and then go from there. So that's just one thing. So if you go to marketing, and that's a little way around how to get, your social planning. And then when it comes to emails, right? Emails is something that you want to have kind of locked in. I created some templates and some nicely designed emails. So I'll show you what this one looks like. And it has all the links, and you could plug in videos. You could put in ambient backgrounds or gradient backgrounds. And then over here, I did a speaker, and then I put it into Canva really quick, and I added a black top to it, or a black image, and then faded it down so that the words, when they're white, will pop out more, and yet at the same time you'll be able to read what's going on here, still look graphically designed. And then over here we have some different links of different services, and these are attached to all the emails. The only thing that changes is the body, right? What you're saying. And I'll show you what a wedding email template looks like, so you can kind of get the idea how different things look. So we also have an app, right? So I put the image in here, and then you can link this image, and then I also put a button there in case they didn't realize they could click on the image. And you can see I put a different graphic here, one that's more wedding oriented. And then of course, my YouTube channel is riddled with different videos, so I make sure to put a different video link inside all of the emails. So important to understand that all of this is included within Go High Level, and I'm spending about $100 a month just to have Mailchimp, which I'll be switching services once I'm able to transfer the contacts that I have and put them into Go High Level. So those are your emails. Another thing to understand or take note of is sites, right? So I learned this, I don't know, last night, how to put custom fields in. So basically, most marketers are worried about birth dates because, if you're a barbershop, you can send an email out to somebody, say, hey, get half off because it's your birthday, or get a free haircut for your birthday or something like that, to drive people through the door. So keep that in mind as well. So basically, custom fields are a way to put in extra information because they give you a stock, like first name, last name, email address, business name, that regular information. Yet with DJs, we need to know event date. So with that in mind, you want to keep an eye on your forms, which I'll show you how my forms are built in. So when you go to the new website, there's a pop-up window, and then there's a full name, phone number, email address, and event date. Now this is mandatory because if you don't have an event date, then we really don't, have a way to give you service, right? Event type and event date. So again, what, are you getting married? Is it a Sweet 16? And then you have a drop down of all these different types of events, right? And this is good information for what I'm going to show you later. So we need a date, which gives you a date picker, and 2 consent forms, like they have to check the box in order to get text messages and emails, right? And then you want to make sure you have your privacy policy and your terms of service, which are other websites that are also linked to the new website that I have going on. So again, these custom fields and information that you get is pretty important, because if it's all in one system, then the system knows all the information and then can take that information and then fire off different workflows that are most beneficial to what that person needs or is looking to get. The calendar also has automation to remind, people that signed up to have a meeting with you to make sure they show up. And you also have to integrate your Zoom, or at least put a Zoom link into the integrations, which that's another tab as well. So keep that in mind. So now that we have, opt-in forms, and then we went over different email sequences, right? You would go to automation and then check your workflows. Now, I don't know your type of business, yet at the same time, I have 2 different email campaigns that will fire off depending on what the other person checks in the other box that we just showed you. So if I go to, let's do wedding, I guess. So if I go to wedding, I go to edit workflow, and then we have all these different triggers that are up here. Now, what do these triggers mean? When somebody fills out the form, they're either going to, form submitted, KE calendar, terms and conditions, yes, event type, wedding, right? And now they're going to get all these different wedding emails and text messages, and as soon as they sign up, they're going to get a welcome email. It's going to wait 5 minutes and then send them a welcome text. It's going to wait 3 days and then send them another email, and then the name of the email is the Wedding Playbook app, and then wait another 4 days, and then down the line it goes, right? And then you want to set up your triggers. It's like, say you add somebody into your contact form, you can just say tag add it, and then I can add them as a new lead. And then they're going to get all the emails except for the text messages, which text messages isn't set up yet because it takes 6 to 7 days for that to get approved, and you have to apply for it, type thing. So now that you understand that part and that part, here's one more part for you. Because sometimes, you could just show you the back end and not understand how the front end works. So we go to sites, and we can go to websites, and then the page I was working on, this is the back end, right? All the different pages that they have. So you can build these out pretty quick because they give you templates, and you can change the colors to however you want. So basically, just to give you an overview, if you click on the website, I can change all these different, attributes that are on the website. And a lot of this stuff was pretty easy to get going because I have another website and I spent all the time to have all the words and verbiages and stuff that I did some copy and pasting, but at the same time, I was able to update images and, make it look fresher type thing. And with that in mind, if you go to the site, it has all these slider shows at the top, telling everybody about the different types of events that we do. And then you could adjust your pop-up to show up on the screen, which I think I set it for a delay. That's why it's not showing up. I didn't set a delay on this one. So if you go to the contact page, a pop-up will appear eventually. Or you can adjust how soon it shows up too. See, there it is. So let's keep in touch. Name, phone number, email, event type, event date, your consent forms, privacy policy and terms and conditions, right? Just make sure those are posted or you won't get approved for A2P. And then once it gets this information, it fires them through a workflow. And then, the whole point is to get them to book a Zoom call, which is another thing too. I don't know if you pay for Calendly, but Go High Level actually offers that same service. So you could cancel Calendly if you have Calendly and just use inside Go High Level. And again, the reason why that's important is because you have AI. So that's another thing too. Let's go back real quick and talk about conversational AI. All right, so conversational AI is kind of cool as well. So basically, I went and created one, and you go to bot training, and then you could type in any website that is associated with your business and tell it to scan the website, and then now it knows everything about your business, and then you can give it goals. You can set up a appointment booker, like if someone goes to your website and starts talking, like I had on my website. There's a little chat bot right here. Boom, you can start talking. Now, the cool thing is that if somebody's interacting with your business, it'll ask them for their phone number. And let's say they leave the website, now you can text them. So it takes them out of the website, and then you can still keep in touch with them, which is kind of important as well. So you want to make sure your bot is trained. And then, of course, you can ask it questions over here to make sure it's good before you set it live. Now, the one thing that I got confused on, so if you go to sites, over here we have the chat widget. So the chat widget is actually connected to your conversational AI. So this is how it kind of shows up, and this is where you can tell it how to appear. And the most thing I use, you can tell it where to put it on the website. I just keep it in the bottom left-hand corner. So we're just going to leave. That's fine. So when you go to the main page, right? So how do you want this chatbot to communicate on what channels? So you can communicate on Instagram, Facebook, SMS chat, chat widget, which is on the site, live chat, or WhatsApp app. So basically, you could tell your AI chat to get all this information from people, and then it makes contact cards for them, and then you can tell it to tag people as new wedding lead, and then it fires off an automation. So basically, that's kind of like the start of my workflow. There's a few things I'm still working on, like pipelines and stuff, and I haven't figured out how to send contracts out with this system. So I'm still slowly creeping off, DJ Event Planner to Go High Level, and I'll probably still use DJ Event Planner because it does all the details for people's weddings and stuff. Like they'll fill out timelines and what songs they want. And Go High Level, at the point that I don't think it does that. We're not designed to do that. Who knows? They keep adding stuff all the time. So again, if you found that information useful, make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.